everybody, Miss Curdy here, and today we're going to be working on our 3-5 video lesson number 3. So make sure you've got your note sheet. You'll see it says video lesson number 3 up at the top. Before we begin, let's fold our note sheet in half so that it will be ready at the end when we want to cut and glue. Make sure we put our numbers in at the top in case we lose our paper, we can get it back. And let's begin. So we've already talked about subtracting numbers and finding the difference by counting up. And that's a really great strategy that we've done a couple of videos ago. And now we're going to work on doing some subtraction by using the standard algorithm, similar to what we have done in our 3-digit addition unit. So just a reminder, subtraction is finding the difference, go ahead and underline that, between two amounts, and it can also be thinking about taking away an amount from a total. So there's two ways, and it's so important to always be thinking about those two different ways. And then in a subtraction problem, we call the answer, let me zoom in a little bit, hang on. We call the answer the difference. So in addition, we call it the sum. In subtraction, we call it the difference. So if I say find the difference, that means I want you to subtract. So we're going to be working on the standard algorithm here. And that's when we stack the numbers on top of each other, like you'll see down here. And we always want to be sure that we've got the larger number on top and that our place values are lined up. So the ones are together, our tens are together, and our hundreds are together. If we only had tens and ones, we'd make sure those are lined up. We want to begin to subtract starting in our ones place always. We always want to start with our ones and work our way up to the larger numbers. We have to remember that if the top digit is smaller, then we've got to regroup because in this problem, our top number is what we have, and then we're taking away that bottom number. So warning, always take the bottom digit away from the top. And if we can't, we'll need to regroup. And I'm going to talk about what I mean by regrouping in just a moment. I'm going to switch colors. So if I'm working on a problem like this, I know that this means I've got 564 and I want to take away 387. So this is what I have. This is what I'm taking away. Now, if I've got, I'm starting in my ones column. If I have 4 and I need to take away 7, can I do that? If I've got 4, can I take away 7? And of course, the answer to that is no, I can't. I don't have enough. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to fill this up. So I'm actually going to go over to my tens place because I see I've got 6 tens. That's 60 in there. I just need a little bit. So I know I can take some away from there. I'm going to take 1 10. So now instead of having 6 tens, I'm going to have 5 tens. And I'm going to give that 10 to my 4. And when I do that, I want to think of it as ones now. So that 110 is equal to 10 ones. So I'm going to add that 10 ones to that 4 ones I already have. And now I'm going to have a 14 up here. So I still have the same amount like what we did with our regrouping video last time. But now I've just reorganized it. Instead of having a 60 and a 4, I've got a 50 and a 14. But if I add those together, it's still the same amount. But now I'm able to subtract. You will notice that in my tens column, I've got a bit of an issue there where I'm going to have to regroup again, but that's okay. We'll handle that in a moment. Now I can go through and do 14 minus 7. If I've got 14, I can definitely take away 7. And that will equal 7. Now I'm going to look at my tens column. I've got another situation there that I need to fix because now this problem is telling me if I've got 5 tens, can I take away 8 tens? And of course the answer to that is no, I don't have enough. So I'm going to fill up again. I'm going to head over to my hundreds. I'm going to take one of those hundreds away. And we know that 100 equals 10 tens. So once again, I'm going to add 10 to that 5, and I'll end up with 15 tens. So here I've got 4 hundreds, 15 tens, and 14 ones, which still equals 564. It's the same amount, just rearranged, regrouped. But now I can do my subtraction. 15 minus 8 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1, and I end up with 177. All right, so at this time in the video, you should be sitting here thinking, it kind of makes sense, but I'm not ready to try it on my own. So we're going to do a couple of more together and try them out. So stick with me. So here I've got my subtraction problem, but I want to make sure I stack it. So I'm going to take 597 minus 248 and stack them up. And now we're going to go through and solve it. My first step is I start in the ones place. 7 minus 8. If I've got 7, can I take away 8? And the answer to that is no, I don't have enough. So I'm going to head over to my tens column, and I'm going to take 1 from there. So instead of having 9 tens, I'll just have 8. And I'll give that 10, because I know 1 10 equals 10 ones. I'm going to give that 10 ones to the 7 I already have. So that will become 17. And now I have plenty to subtract. 17 minus 8 is 9. Now let's take a look at my tens column. If I have 8, can I take away 4? Phew, I can. Thank goodness. No regrouping needed. 8 minus 4 is 4. And when I get to my hundreds, I've got 5 minus 2, which is 3. Now, I want to show you a really useful trick. Whenever you're doing subtraction, you can actually always check your answer ahead of time by doing addition. Subtraction, we went from top to bottom. But now if we turn our problem around and add these two numbers together, we should end up with our top number. So I'm going to take 349 plus 248, and hopefully I get an answer of 597. Let's see. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry my 110. 4 and 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Ooh, looking good. And then 3 plus 2 is 5. And now I see that those two numbers match, and I know my answer is correct. All right, let's take a look at this one. If you're feeling brave, this one's going to be pretty tricky, but if you're feeling brave and you want to pause the video and try it, go for it, and then press play to see how it goes. All right, I'm going to give myself plenty of room. All right, I rewrote it, stacking it so my place values are lined up perfectly. And now I'm going to begin to subtract. All right, so 7 minus 8. If I've got 7, can I take away 8? And the answer is no, I don't have enough. That top number does not have enough. So I'm going to jump over to my tens column, and I'm going to take one of those tens away. And remember, I know that 110 equals 10 ones, so I can add those 10 ones to that 7 there. So I have 17, and now I've got plenty. 17 minus 8 is 9. 2 minus 0 is 2, no regrouping there. And 4 minus 2 is 2. Perfect. All right. Taking a look at this, we've done some regrouping. Sometimes I've got to regroup just my tens. Sometimes I'll regroup my tens and my hundreds. So be on the lookout for that. So now that we have watched that video, you can put a checkbox there. So at this moment, I want you to think to yourself, how are you feeling? Is this something that you think you can do on your own now? Can you do this 3-digit subtraction on your own? And if the answer is yes, you're going to come down to your workbook and do these 2 workbook pages and check your answer keys. Check with the answer keys. If you're still not sure if you can do this on your own, no problem. You're going to grab the addition sheet that has the French fries on it. And on the back, you'll find the ketchup bottle. And you're going to watch the video with me doing the French fry sheet. So that way you can follow along for some more problems. And then you're going to complete the backside, which is the ketchup, on your own to see how it goes. So go ahead and make a decision. You're either going to move on to practice by yourself because you're feeling confident, or you want some more practice and you're going to do the next follow along video. All right, I'll see you back here for our next video. Have a great one. Bye, everybody.